I'm surprised that's even playing. Time to dye the beard again, it looks like. Even though I like it either way. Doesn't last very long, that whole just for men thing. And then if I use the Beijing, then your whole skin, your hair doesn't even feel real. Like this feels like hair. You know, this makes sense. You put that Beijing on your beard, it just feels like, oh, not like plastic. Very sad. You know, I don't really have much to say. I was just I was with wifey and the kids, and I'm taking wifey to the supermarket. She's like, "Do you want to go with me to pick up some pads?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah! We don't need no more kids." Not that there was a scare or anything like that. My children are planned, believe it or not. The reason why I started, I guess, the video is because I'm just looking at my shirt, how wrinkled it looks. Let's go, Big E. How are you? Little Z? Little Zeb. I like that. And, I'm just, thinking about Westworld. I'm thinking about how the words that we say and the things that come out of our mouths are possibly some sort of like, it's all pre-planned. It's all part of the script. And what I like about my theory is that, we step outside of the script anytime we want. We don't have to be reading from the script. We can actually just create our own script. Something that I'm doing now, and let me tell you, it has less to do with speech and the way you enunciate your words, changing the script, than it has on just getting something done. I just think that all the doubt and all the fears that we all have are universal about getting something or doing something, getting it done, or even starting something. So if you are trying to get a project off the ground, you've been talking about something for many, many, many years, I would, I just do it. Just do it. You gotta just do it. And you know what? You can do it. It's just those fears, those doubts, those insecurities that are part of what I believe the script. And then we all have to remember that when it rains, it pours. So, I'm driving the dispensary that I just opened up here in New York City to its parking spot, and man, I started to have these fears of the car no longer working, and the car, me not being able to take the trailer out with this particular vehicle. If, let's say, the only problem, I've been taking such great care of this vehicle. The only problem I would have is if reality itself did everything it could to stop my course of action. But I got this little bit of a comfort zone, a little cushion where I know I could take out the excursion. And I could pull out the excursion and it'll pull the trailer with no problem. And then I was thinking, oh my God, but the gas prices, and like, what if something happened to this vehicle and then you were forced to take the excursion, and then how would you pay for the gas? It's so expensive. And then like my mind is like going, I'm like, dude, relax. You are rewriting your script. There are going to be all this fear, all these thoughts of fear. You got to shake it off. And that's what I've been doing for the last like week, is constantly shaking off these fears that are telling me. And let me tell you this, I never felt this about the pizzeria. I didn't feel this about the first restaurant that I opened when I was 21. I was so gung-ho and so ready to jump into the pool feet first. Not head first, feet first. But not checking whether the water is cold enough or warm enough or whatever. Just ready to just go at it. And, after that, there were other things that I gotten into. And the bar business, the club business, and, being part of opening up a bar from scratch, opening up a club from scratch, opening up a restaurant from scratch, all these different things. I was never the owner. I was always just the managing partner. I'm the guy who can get your place open, and in return, I will work for you and run your place, and you will be. Hey, you.
Hey, hey, hey.
Got everything you needed?
Yeah.
High five.
Yay!
Yeah, we tried to have babies maybe 5-6 years ago. Then that's it. It didn't work out. We stopped. The kids are getting too big. They require massive attention, and the last thing we need is an infant. I'll do that with our sister wife, if we can find one. I've been wanting a chocolate baby. I need a dark-skinned baby. All right, those are just jokes. Well, I was basically talking about. Oh, I'm live. Do you know I'm live?
Yeah.
She's like, I can see you, sir. Sorry. But here's the thing. I was talking. Oh, let's put some money in the bank.
Wait, what were you talking about?
I was talking about this script that we're in. I want to drop off some money to the bank. Looks like it's still open, right?
No, I think the bank is closed.
5 o'clock, yeah. Close at 5.
There's a parking spot.
Thanks, babe. So, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do what you gotta do. And it's like, you gotta just do it. Everything that I did for someone else. Doing it for myself has become so difficult. The doubt. But I'm just saying, when I worked for these people, and I opened up these businesses for these people, and they hired me, and I made these people massive amounts of money. It was me, the cushion that they had. They had that comfort in knowing that I'm gonna run the hell out of their bar, their restaurant, their club. And it was like, I don't have that. I don't have that me that I can turn to. But let me also say this. Can I even afford to have that me? Can I even afford to pay somebody minimum of $15 an hour for a minimum of 50 hours a week? Can I even do that right now? And will I be trusting? Will I be the micromanager? Sometimes you gotta be, because I needed sometimes micromanaging. I needed that phone call every day that made me roll my eyes and just get so irritated. And then the boss would be like, let's go over the books for the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, sure, let's do it. And we're doing it. And I'm just like so irritated, and not openly, but just like, oh boy, somebody, going behind everything you wrote and going through all the receipts. And then in your back of your mind, you're like, they're so full of it. They don't even know what they're doing. But you can't really say that. And some of them do know what they're doing, at least temporarily, for a few minutes. They're good at it for a few minutes. After about a half an hour, they're done. But anyway, rewriting your script is not, it's not an easy task. If you were meant to just live your life a certain way and make a certain amount of money, then let me say this. In this reality, there are possibly these different rules. And yeah, because I got a text from the damn, what's it called company? The T-Mobile company. And they were like letting me know, like, we're gonna take out that paper you agreed to let us take out every time. I was like, let's not take any risk here. Drop that off. Be safe. So here's the thing. I've asked the question whether or not the system itself took out Kevin Samuels. Right? And I that, we all reading from a script, but what I want you to know is that this is something that you can change your script. You can rewrite your script, right? But one of the great things about this is that even though I have said things like what I said about Kevin and the reality itself correcting itself because he was pushing it into a whole nother direction, that the system, like the algorithm, saw that it was, it wasn't beneficial to the course that this algorithm or this reality in itself, the reality that we're in, is moving. This reality that we're in is moving on a incremental steps along some sort of direction, some sort of end game, right? And he could have possibly diverted some of that with his rhetoric and his concepts, his ideologies, the whole sign language theory, and women that are home wreckers, and all these kind of things, and using the word toxic out of control with it. All these different things have people thinking. The world started thinking, but maybe in extreme cases, this system will correct it. As for me, rewriting my script and changing what I view my outcomes to be with my children, with my loved ones, and all these kind of things, and me not wanting to end up there, I think there is a part of me that finds like comfort. There's a comforting effect in thinking that the system allows you to change your script. We are allowed to. There's some sort of what's the word? Small print. There's some sort of small print that in the small print, it tells us that if you do divert from said script that you were given at birth, then you are allowed to. Maybe you are allowed to at any time to start changing your life and rewriting your course. And that's comforting for me, especially with this new venture that I'm moving forward in, and all the fears that I have, and all the doubts that I have, and all the worries that I have that something's gonna happen to the car. What about the gas prices? All these kind of things, paying $1,100 a month in tolls. All these things is in your mind, and you're like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? And I gotta relax my brain and say, dude, you're rewriting your script. You're changing your whole course. You were supposed to be the worker bee for somebody else for the rest of your life. You were supposed to be the guy in a dysfunctional relationship. You were supposed to be the guy with children who hated him. You were supposed to be all these different things that you refuse to be. You're like, nah, I'm not with that no more. Not that I'm not with that any longer. I just see that from what I learned from my parents and from what I learned from the people around me, that not much is going to happen here with success. And I had to really become very passionate about making others successful. Kind of made me happy. I had a good friend of mine, and this good friend of mine, we went shopping for like a chain, right? So, and they were sterling silver chains. And when we got there to buy the chains, I saw one that I really liked, and he saw one that he really liked. And I was like, no, I can't get this one because this one looks nicer than yours. And he was like, no, man, you gotta do what you like. And I said, no. I'm not gonna be riding with you, and you're executive producer of a record company, and I am your friend who is like part of basically like an entourage. Maybe the head of the entourage, but I can't have a better and bigger chain than yours. So I need mine to be smaller. And I remember like I always felt like I knew my place. And my dad, he tells stories about Buick and how when he was coming up as a kid, everybody bought Buicks because they didn't want to outdo the boss with the Cadillac, because the boss always had the Cadillac, and you want to stay in a humble position, kind of a thing, so I always felt that I understood my humble position where I'm supposed to be, and I just realized that if I want to survive in this world, I can no longer stay in those positions because there's just not room for me anymore. So, I can continue to, I guess, cook until I'm 70 years old. I can be that old fat man that's cooking for people, and I don't want to be that. Not that there's anything wrong with that guy, but I want to rewrite my script, and I'm doing that. And there is a part of me that's happy believing that, or thinking that the system in itself will not try to correct my course, and I'm allowed to change my script if my theory is correct anytime I want. What do you think, Mama?
I think it's correct. You've proven that.
I've proven that, right? Yeah, I've proven that.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Why did I think of the word subjugate? Look up that word for me real quick.
Subjugate.
Bring under dominance or control, especially by conquest. Make someone or something subordinate to.
You see? Why am I using this word? This word was never part of my script. And I guess one of the ways is to read. Like I used to read tons of novels coming up. And travel helps. And then talking with people from around the world always helps. Eye contact. Never being intimidated. Fearlessly moving forward. No longer using my ego, caring what other people think. That's helped us. That's helped everything,
Absolutely.
Why not? Anyway, I just thought I'd take a minute, go live, say hi, let you know that I'm thinking about you, and that, of course, come on, I love you.